Doing friends, how are you this afternoon? I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our community helpers, and today Miss Valerie is a construction worker. I'm building things in my neighborhood. I'm building things in my home all the time, fixing things, putting things together. Without our construction workers, nothing in our communities would be being built or being expanded or fixed or anything else. Construction workers are very, very important. And construction workers, well, they use all kinds of tools. So I'm going to show you just a few of the tools that if you were going to be a construction worker, you would be using too. One of the most important things that I know is a hammer. Hammers are very, very important in construction and in building. I don't have backhoes and big dump trucks and stuff I can show you, so I'm going to stick to the little tools that they use and some of the more important tools that you can use in your own homes. But a hammer has a flat end of it and it has this end here that you can use to be able to pull things out. So you hammer things with this side. And then if you want to take something out, you use this side. I'm going to show you a little bit about how you can use a hammer by taking two pieces of wood that I have here. I always have little pieces of wood because I'm always building little things. But in construction, construction means taking things together that are separate and bringing them together to build things like houses and fences and all kinds of things. There are several different ways that you can make things stay together. One of them is that you could take these same two pieces of wood and you can put them together, and you could use like wood glue to be able to put them together. And sometimes that works just fine for a small project, but I'm going to use a nail to put these together, and I am going to use another tool that I have, which is a clamp. They call this a C-clamp. But they're very, very important. You can use them to hold things together, and they're really easy to use because you just turn this here, and it goes up and down. And this part here is where you put the wood to hold it together. And you want to hold it together so that you can have your hands free so that you can use your hammer and your nail and not get hurt. You want to use your tools right, that's for sure. Don't want to get hurt. And so if I want to put this wood together and hold it with the C-clamp, I'm going to twist it into place like this. And if I wanted to, I could even open it all the way to the bottom and I could actually adhere it to here. So I think I'm going to do that actually. Because that would be a good way of showing you how you clamp it into place for another reason too. So I'm going to take it all the way down, all the way down. I think it's big enough I can do that. Give me a minute here. I can hear my dog barking in the backyard. I wonder what she's upset about. She hears something, that's for sure. Oh, it does fit on there. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to take this whole thing, and I'm going to clamp it into place. See how that wood is staying right there? It's not going anywhere. Okay? And so I'm going to take a nail. Nails are sharp at one end, and then they have a flat head usually at the other end. And so you're always going to use the sharp end to put into your wood, and then you're going to use your hammer to be able to put it. But nails come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, and so what you always want to make sure is that the nail that you use is long enough to put into the wood that you're putting it into. You won't be doing this for a long, long time, but if you want to help your mom and dad sometime, maybe they'll let you watch. So I'm going to take these two pieces of wood, and I'm going to put them together by taking a nail, and I'm going to hammer it into place. Okay. Okay, so yeah, the cover came off of that. Okay, so I'm going to unclamp it by just untwisting it in the opposite direction. Okay, take the C-clamp off, and now look. Those two pieces of wood are stuck together. That's the very cool thing about construction is when you use your tools, you can put things together and you can build something. So that's a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to take this piece of wood here because it's very, very rough. As a construction worker, I know that if I want to be able to paint this or if I want to use this for something, I got to have it smooth. And so I can use this thing called sandpaper. This particular one here is a sand sponge, and it's used for very, very light sanding projects like this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sandpaper and I'm going to just rub it on here, and I'm going to rub it back and forth. And it doesn't take very long, and it doesn't take a lot of pressure. All I'm doing is just taking off the very, very rough stuff that is just sticking up from this wood. And I'm just knocking it off with this sandpaper here. It's a very simple tool, but it's a very effective tool. Now look at that there. Whew. Look at that. It's all nice and smooth. I can put my hand across there. Rough. Ooh, rough side. Ooh. Smooth side. See how nice that is? Knowing a little bit about construction is very important because you know how to do these things. We have other tools that we use too in construction. Measuring is very important. You want to know how big the things are that you're using. Or if you have to cut a piece of wood with a saw, then you need to know how big it is. And so you want to use a measuring tape to be able to do that. The fun thing about measuring tapes is that you can lock them into place. Let's just say that I want to measure this here, okay? Look at that. Ah, it retracts itself in there. It's like a ruler. This is a ruler too. This is a, this one here is a ruler that you use to be able to mark angles. So I'm going to measure this piece of wood, and I'm going to use my measuring tape. It's 5.5 this way by 7 inches this way, and 1 inch that way. Okay? So I know how big that is because I've measured it with my tools. This is a very, very important tool in construction. In any kind of project that you use, you're going to want to know how big things are, and you're going to use a measuring tape to be able to do that. Okay, very important tool. Very simple, but it's a very important piece of your work. And then I showed you this angle one here. This is a very important tool too if you're wanting to mark a flat surface and make sure that your marking is even on both sides. Okay, so if you want to continue a mark on this side and on this side, you're going to use one of these things here, and they're adjustable. Okay, it's a level. Make sure that it's the right size. You're going to move it to the distance that you want to. This is about the distance that I want it to be. And then I'm going to lock it in place like this. I love all the different tools that they have in construction. This is a very cool part of this one here because it has this bubble. Okay? It has this little thing right here that's called a level. And this will tell me whether or not the thing that I'm marking is level. Okay, right now, pretty darn right on here, the bubble that's inside here in this measuring thing, it's measuring right in the center of it. So I know that if I have this up here and I have this across here, I can take my pencil, I can mark it across here, and that's the place that I want to mark it. Very cool tool in construction that you would use. Another cool tool you would want to use is a saw. Saws come in all kinds of shapes and sizes and for different needs. Like if you want to cut metal, you'd have to use one kind of saw. If you want to cut wood, you're going to use another one. If I just want to make a little cut with a tiny saw, I would use this. But I would, once again, before I start cutting on something, I would make sure to clamp it down into place, and then I would use my saw on it. Because I wouldn't want this to slip out of my hands and cut my hands or anything like that. You don't want to get hurt, so you always want to be sure that you use your safety items. Okay? Always make sure you use your safety items and never do anything without your parents' permission. I have another tool that I'm going to show you, and it's called a drill. I know some of you have seen drills, This is a pretty heavy duty one here, but right now it doesn't have a drill bit in it. And if I wanted to drill a hole in something, I would use this little tool here that's usually hanging on it, and it's called a chuck. And it opens and closes the little key here. It opens and closes this so that I can put a drill bit in it. Okay? Drill bits are very important. You keep them in a toolbox. You always want to make sure you put your tools back, so the next time you go to use them, they're where they need to be. I use these ones here, and I put them into place where they're supposed to be. Okay? Okay. I have 2 of them right here that I want to show you, because drills can come in different sizes. Drill bits can come in all kinds of sizes, and so you want to choose the tool for the size hole that you want to be able to drill. So this would be for a very big hole, and this would be for a very small hole. Okay? It's very interesting. All the things that you learn about construction are very, very important and a lot of fun. And our construction people are very important to our community helpers. And I hope that you learned a little bit about some of the construction tools that you use if you were going to be in construction. Tomorrow we'll probably learn about some other kind of thing. I wonder, what will we be tomorrow? Who knows? I guess you'll find out when I check in with you then. We'll see you guys tomorrow.